The street looks harmless at sunset. Warm light on stone, smoke lifting from chimneys, a bell fading into the evening air. Then the last door slams shut. Wood meets iron, bolts slide into place, shutters close. One by one, windows turn black. The street that felt alive an hour ago empties, not slowly, but all at once, as if something unseen has stepped into it. In medieval Europe, night is not silence. It is subtraction. Light disappears. Witnesses disappear. Options disappear. A single candle costs more than comfort allows. Most homes burn one flame. Some burn none. When that flame dies, the room does not grow dim. It vanishes. Walls dissolve into blackness. The floor becomes uncertain ground. A step taken without sight can scatter embers into straw, crack a skull against a beam, or crush a child sleeping too close to the hearth. Cold enters immediately. Stone gives nothing back. Bodies press together beneath coarse wool. Breath mixes in air already thick with smoke. Livestock shift in the same room. If someone wakes coughing in the dark, there is nowhere cleaner to move. Only more shadow. Night is not rest. It is exposure. Outside, the town seals itself. At dusk, city gates close. Massive timber doors reinforced with iron swing inward and are barred. Anyone still outside stays outside. A traveler delayed by mud or injury may hear the final thud from the road and understand what it means. No appeal, no exception. He can shout. The guards may hear him. But opening the gates risks the whole town. So he walks into the fields instead. The sky becomes a ceiling of cold stars. Wolves move along the tree line. So do men who prefer witnesses asleep. Some of those travelers are found at dawn, stiff in frost, or not found at all. Inside the walls, movement tightens. Curfew bells ring. Fires must be covered. Streets belong to authority. Watchmen patrol with lanterns that cast thin, trembling circles onto uneven stone. Their light reassures those inside. It isolates those outside. To be seen walking after the bell is to invite explanation. To lack one is to invite arrest. Sound becomes dangerous. Footsteps echo too far. A whispered argument slips through shutters. A dropped object travels down the lane like a signal flare. In darkness, sound gives away position, and position invites consequence. Three realities settle quickly into the body. Light is expensive. Travel is restricted. Help is uncertain. A knock after curfew does not promise mercy. It promises suspicion. A household that opens too often risks being remembered. In a world of limited fuel and fragile safety, generosity narrows after sunset. The street itself turns hostile. Open drainage channels line the lanes, carrying waste and rain downhill. By day they are visible. By night they are traps. A misstep can twist an ankle or drop a body into foul water thick with rot. Infection does not announce itself. It enters quietly and waits. Fire waits everywhere. Roofs of thatch press close together. Sparks travel on wind. One unseen ember can begin its slow work beneath dry straw. At night, flames are noticed late. When bells finally scream, smoke is already crawling through beams. People run half-blind. Buckets pass from hand to hand. Children stumble in smoke. Sometimes a family wakes not to flame, but to heat already closing in. Sometimes they do not wake at all. Entire streets can vanish before dawn. This is not legend. It is record. After such nights, rules harden. Buckets by doors, hearth inspections, more patrols. Each new measure reveals the same truth. Darkness is not only a danger to survive, it is a condition to control, and control creates power. The scale widens. Monasteries rise in stone and discipline. Behind thick walls, brothers wake during the deepest hours to pray in chapels lit by oil lamps. Their chants echo while nearby towns sleep uneasily. Order replaces choice. Routine replaces fear. Castles dominate the skyline. Torches burn along ramparts. Guards rotate through cold hours. Drawbridges lift. Gates sealed. Architecture sharpens after sunset because vision fails. Defense becomes ritual. Yet even here, darkness punishes weakness. A guard who drifts toward sleep misses movement below. A dropped torch ignites stored grain. A single lapse can starve a garrison by winter. Authority does not remove vulnerability. It organizes it. Beyond walls lie villages and scattered farms. Here the night is wider, less regulated. Fields stretch into shadow. Peasants sleep lightly because animals mean survival. A stolen cow is not inconvenience. It is hunger. When livestock stir, owners rise with crude blades, stepping into darkness they cannot see through. Sometimes the predator is a wolf. Sometimes it is a man. Sometimes it is both. Predators move differently after sunset. So do thieves. Professional burglars understand timing. Medieval sleep often comes in two waves. A first heavy sleep, then a waking interval, then a second rest before dawn. The deepest silence falls in that middle stretch. They wait for it. They listen at shutters. They test doors. They slip tools beneath beams. If confronted, violence is immediate. Night burglary carries an assumption of lethal intent. And in darkness, faces blur. Blame blurs. Memory fills gaps by morning. A body discovered at sunrise may have no clear story. Darkness complicates justice. In some towns, simply being outside without a light is enough to be detained. Suspicion becomes proof. Innocence shrinks after sunset. It is safer to be asleep than visible. But some must remain awake. Not criminals, not guards, workers. Cities generate waste relentlessly. Pits fill, air turns foul. Cleaning them in daylight would halt trade and spread stench through markets. So crews descend at night. Rope, shovel, weak flame. The air below ground is thick with gases that steal breath without warning. One step into a pocket of bad air, and a man can collapse silently. Those above may not realize until the rope goes slack. Sometimes they pull up a body. By morning, the street appears clean. The cost is erased. Night hides the labor that keeps disease from spreading faster than it already does. Then the pressure tightens, a cough in the dark that does not stop. Illness thrives in cramped rooms with closed shutters. Fever rises. Breath shortens. Without light, examination is guesswork. Without swift travel, help arrives late. A mother may sit through the longest hours listening to her child struggle to breathe. The door cannot be opened freely. The street cannot be crossed safely. The physician cannot reach them until morning. Sometimes morning is too late. Death at night feels different. Fewer witnesses, fewer rituals. A body lies beside the living until dawn allows preparation. Grief stretches in silence. This is the fracture point. Night is no longer only fire or theft. It is isolation. Isolation is power. Municipal authorities understand this. Darkness multiplies rumor and fear. In response, curfews tighten, patrols increase. Entire neighborhoods are ordered to monitor themselves. Failure to report suspicious behavior becomes a punishable offense. Safety becomes obligation. Obligation becomes surveillance. Neighbors listen through walls. Shutters part at unfamiliar sounds. Names circulate by morning. Reputation is shaped not only by daylight action, but by nighttime presence. Darkness does part of the work for authority. When movement collapses into daylight hours, oversight becomes easier. Trade, speech, and gathering cluster beneath the sun where they can be seen. Night restricts activity naturally. Law simply reinforces it. This is the hidden machine. Cold, limited light, sealed gates and narrow streets discipline behavior without constant force. People comply because the alternative feels more dangerous. Freedom contracts with the sun. Leaving town after dusk is nearly impossible. Roads are unsafe. Gates are sealed. Even within walls, private meetings draw suspicion. Secrecy itself becomes a risk. Before dawn, the coldest hour presses hardest. This is when fevers peak, when fires smolder unseen, when guards fight sleep, when those stranded outside have either survived the dark or not. The rooster's cry breaks something. Light seeps into damp streets. Gates reopen. Carts roll in. Children step outside blinking. The world looks restored, as if night were only an interruption. But architecture remembers. Windows narrow. Streets twist. Regulations multiply. Civic identity forms around managing what happens after sunset. Night is not absence. It is structure. It redistributes advantage. It concentrates authority. It rewards walls and punishes isolation. It teaches communities to watch themselves. Artificial light will one day blunt its sharpest edges. Streets will glow long past sunset. Movement will stretch into hours once ruled by fear. Yet the logic remains. Curfews return in crisis. Surveillance strengthens in shadow. Movement is still restricted when visibility falls. Darkness still reshapes behavior. The watchman lifts his lantern one last time before dawn. The flame trembles in cold air. For a moment, it is the only certainty in the street. Then sunlight reaches it. He extinguishes the flame. Smoke curls upward and disappears. By evening he will light it again. Because night was never defeated. It was managed. And what we manage often ends up managing us.